Hello everyone, I'm Batpan, about to use this pan as a shield. Today's video is actually part 3 of creating a node system in Unity and the last part of it. In this video we'll actually create the read panel. You click on a button that says read node and a panel appears. The text will appear in the panel, so it is actually more readable. This video will be put inside a series of video covering Unity tips and tricks. You can check them out through my channel. One, I published my retro horror game. It's a VHS style horror game with a twist in the story. I'll be happy if you could check it out. The link is in the description. All the files used in this video and the scripts created in this video will be in my GitHub. The link to the files on the GitHub is in the description again. Thank you a lot for your support, a lot of your positive energy. I'm very thankful for them. With all those being said, let's begin. So for the first section of the video, like the previous parts, we'll first create the things in the editor part, then we'll go through the script. What do we need here? We need a new panel and we need a button here. Let's open up our canvas, open up Note 1. The thing we need right now here is a button that says, for example, read text, and when we click on that read text, it goes ahead and opens up a panel that we can read on the panel. We can just kind of duplicate this, take the note button we created in the part 1. We can go to scene view, click on this 2D to go to the 2D view. We can select our button. We can duplicate by holding Ctrl D or right click and duplicate. Then I'm going to rename it to read text button. I'm gonna, for example, put it like around here. It is so random, I don't know where to put it. Here maybe. You can give it a text color like reddish, read note, for example. Just give it, actual font and not the read, take the note font. So it is actually more readable. Let's go ahead and create the panel. Right click on this Note 1, UI, panel. First I make it a child of the canvas to, make it cover the whole screen. Then I'll just drag and drop it onto this Note 1, so it is child of the Note 1. Put it at the under button because it should be on top of the actual note, and when you put it here, the note is actually on top of the panel. Just put the panel down. After that we go ahead and change the panel's color. Click on this panel. I'm gonna make it like blackish and make it this color could be okay. I'm just gonna make the panel very big. I'm just gonna click on this chain and put it at 100. So when I scale the screen, it doesn't change because it is child of an empty object. And you put it on full screen, these sides would just be normal screen. And I'll actually find a fix for this anchor problem. Actually create a video on that as well. For this section, I'm just gonna explain this read text and note system, but I'll just create another video for problems of the anchor system. So we created the panel. The next thing we need is a text. So right click on this Note 1, UI, legacy text. I'm just gonna create a legacy text for this section, and I'm not gonna work with Text Mesh Pro, but I'll actually maybe make a video on Text Mesh Pro as well. So let's create a legacy text. Go to scene view, 2D, make it like 35 is okay. Make it bold. I'm gonna make it yellowish, maybe this color. You can give your custom color. Put it as center and not down. Put this on up. I opened a space here for the go back button, so it goes back to the note. What we want to do, if we created the text, the next thing we're going to create is a button, the go back button. We can just again duplicate this read text button and put it here. So I'm just going to click on this read text. The read text is actually this one, this thing we created, this read note button. We can just duplicate this, right click, duplicate. I'm going to again put it down so it is on top of this. Instead, I'm going to call this one go back button. So this is the go back button. I'm going to put it around here. Make it bigger. Instead of read note, it's gonna say, go to its text and say, go back. And maybe make it bluish or stuff. I'm gonna give them different colors so you guys know these are different buttons. Type stuff. It's gonna be like this. For the second section of the video, we're actually going to be creating the functions for it. So we open up our script. Again, I say all the files used and created in this video will be in my GitHub. The link to the files to my GitHub is in the description. So we open up our node system. This is the script we created for the past 2 parts. I'm gonna say added part 3, so you guys know this part has been added in part 3. We have 2 kind of things I need to explain here. The thing I want to explain is we have 3 things we want to activate when we click on this read node. And when we click on this read node, we just need to activate this one. And when we click on this go back, we would just deactivate these 3. I'm just gonna put these 3 inside one array of game object. So we go ahead in here, say public game object. So what is an array? Array is a place where you can put multiple game objects of the same type inside one actual game object. So I can put 3 game objects inside one array of game object. It is actually very easier. Instead of typing, for example, object 1, 2, 3, I just create one singular array of game object and I say, for example, game object house number 0, 1, 2. I'll explain it in the following minutes. You guys actually see it in the following minutes, so don't worry on that. Read panel parts. So that was one of the things we needed. The other thing we need is a text. So we say public text. What text do we need? We need the read panel text. It is actually this text. This text is actually the read panel text. Whenever we have a button and we need to connect the function to it, we need to create a public void inside our script. So we need a public void for the read note and we need a public void for the go back. I'm just going to create them right now and add the functions in the following minutes. So public void read note void, so I know this is actually a void, and the public void go back void. First I'll just create the read note void, then I'll create the other one. As we said, we had an array, so first thing, when we click on this read note, we want to activate these three parts, these three game objects, the panel, the text, and the go back button. I'm gonna actually do it custom, and I'm not gonna do it inside a for loop because I know I have three objects inside this game object. So I'm just gonna say read panel parts house number 0 dot set active true. That's how you give it a house number. House number 0 is actually the first game object inside this array. House number 1 is actually the second game object inside this array, and house number 2 is the third object inside this array. House number 0, I'm just gonna click on the Control V and duplicate it. 1, 2. First we activate the house number 0, which is panel, house number 1, which is text, and house number 2, which is the go back button. First we activate it to be the same amount of the text that was before. If you remember, we created a parent string in the previous part, which actually holds the value and the text, the actual text of the page inside that we give to the text of the image. For example, we had a text, the node text.text, this text, we just give the parent string to this node text.text to actually write exactly the same thing here inside the read panel. We have to do one single easy thing, and that is read panel text.text equal to parent string. As easy as that. I think we can actually go ahead and check this part, then we'll create the go back void. Let's go to the script. I have the script on my camera, so I'm just gonna go ahead to my camera, the node system. It needs a read panel text. I'm gonna give this read panel text here, drag and drop it here, or you can click on the circle and find it. Then it needs an array. I have 3 objects inside an array, so I'm just gonna click 3 here and open up 3 spaces here. So house number 0 is panel, house number 1 is text, house number 2 is this one. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find this read note button, which is actually this one. I'm gonna go ahead down on this on click event. If it has 1, we can just deactivate and add 1 again, or you can just change it there. I'm gonna drag and drop my object with the script to it. I'm just gonna click on this no function. I'm gonna find my script node system, and I'm gonna look for a read text, and it is actually here, so I'm just gonna select it. So whenever I click on this read note, it's gonna actually run this public void read note void. So let's go ahead and check it out. I go ahead, I read it. For example, go to second note, I click here, and it writes the text for the second page here. And if I was on this first page, it would show the first page. So we created this function. Right now we can go ahead and create the go back function for it. The go back function is actually very easy because we just kind of did the same thing here. What we want to do is we want to just deactivate the things we created here. So instead of writing all of this down here, we can just select all of them, Control C to copy, or right click and copy, and Control V or paste here. And instead of that set active equal to true, just have to put dot set active equal to false. The thing we want to create right now, is we're gonna go ahead and find this go back button. I'm gonna select my go back button. I'm gonna go to this on click event, which is exactly on the, when you click on this go back button on the inspector tab, go down and you'll find the on click event here. Every button that you have will have this here. It is already selected, so I'm just not gonna deactivate it. I'm just gonna click on this one, go to node system. Instead of take note, I'm just gonna find my go back void. I'm just gonna click on this, and by default I'm gonna deactivate this. With all those being done, let's go ahead and check it out. We go here, we take the note. Says this is the first page. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. And say go back, and you go to the second page, you click on this read note. It actually shows you the page 2. Go back and go to the third note, read. It shows you the third page. And you go to the first page again, it shows you the first page. So that's how you do it. That's how you create the read note function. It is actually very simple. You can add sound effects here to make it more beautiful. So that was how to do it, very simple. So I'm just gonna take the note. So that was part 3 of creating a node system in Unity, and the end of the node system series in Unity. I'm sorry if I didn't post a lot of videos these couple of weeks because I had exams on university. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, a like would be amazing. You can subscribe to see more contents like this. You can give me any opinions, any comments, anything you want to say in the comment section. I will be very happy to answer them. Hope all the best for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.